Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at the Invincible Iron Man #1 Facsimile edition from Marvel Comics. This just came out. It is so cool. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Look at this gorgeous cover. The interior artist is Gene Colan, so I'm assuming he did the cover. Although it's giving me a little bit of a Gil Kane vibe, and I know he designed a lot of the covers for Marvel around this time, but I'm gonna go with Gene Colan, the interior artist. Love the Marvel corner box. $3.99 May 1st. This is, a reprint of Iron Man #1. I love these facsimile editions, giving me the opportunity to hold a comic book and read these stories, whereas I might not have otherwise. The other thing I really love is the quality of the printing. And plus, it's like basically like a facsimile. It's the, a copy of the original. It's got all the original house ads and outside ads and whatnot. And everything is intact. Of course, it's $3.99. It's on better, slicker paper, but the printing looks great. I'm really enjoying these facsimile editions so much. So, Alone Against AIM, or What a Way to Start Out in Your Own Mag. Marvel is so interesting in a way because, maybe I think that maybe DC probably did this too, but they would start out in like Tales to Astonish or interesting adventures or blah blah blah, and Spider-Man infamously first appeared in Amazing Fantasy, and then had his own first issue. So it's like sort of like testing the waters on some of these characters. You know, I Iron Man must have been part of the Avengers by this point because he has the updated armor, where he's had the clunky gold armor. So Archie Goodwin and Gene Colan are the storytellers here. Archie Goodwin writing and Gene Colan on art. It's funny because I don't think I've ever read Iron Man #1 before this facsimile edition, and I absolutely love it. I'm a huge fan of Gene Colan. I thought it was kind of an odd choice for an Iron Man at first because, Gene Colan is known for his very fluid, kind of organic art, and I thought, would that work well with the shininess of Iron Man? And then I thought, actually it kind of works perfectly because, like, as you'll see, like, he draws the armor in a way nobody else ever had. Inked by Johnny Craig, not familiar with that name. Perhaps a jobber of the time, lettered by Artie Simek. The colors are uncredited, and that's a shame because they are so wild and wonderful and like of that time. The limited palette, the no computer coloring. So I think Marvel especially was pretty revolutionary with the sort of just bright and bold and just keeping it interesting, kind of in a way nonsensical, but in a way just perfect sense. I love these AIM characters. It's funny because I kind of thought they were lame in later incarnations. Maybe it depends on the artist. I thought, they kind of would just look like beekeepers walking around. But Gene Colan goodness here. I'm just loving the way he's drawing the screen in this, like, negative space here. I have to say, I don't, like, this inker is reminding me a little bit of, like, how Dick Ayers inks Jack Kirby, which is not a bad thing. But it's not lush and thick. It's more a little, like what I would imagine, like with a quill and kind of linear. And, the interesting thing about Gene Colan is that he so desperately wanted to capture animation on the page, the fluidity of the characters. And that's like such an aspirational great thing as a comic book storyteller, I feel. And I think he did it better than most other artists, arguably. The only thing about that is he would use like the side of his pencil to get like these fluid lines, and notoriously difficult, if not impossible, to ink. So much so to the point where apparently when he moved to DC Comics, like nobody there knew how to ink him. I think he works best when he's inked probably by himself. I don't know if I've ever seen him ink himself, to be honest with you, but I'm sure he must have. Or his pencils reproduced without being inked, like in the Blood Scent from Kamiko horror comic, or an Al Williamson or a Klaus Janson does a terrific job as well. So I'm kind of like wanting some more. I know that I'm not overly familiar with the Gene Colan Daredevil, and I know I'm totally missing out. I know that's probably like, it's weird how prolific he was. Like he was kind of all over the place, doing like just long runs and lots of great different characters. Um, Hello, Wonder Woman television show. Do we recognize that outfit right there? I mean, probably not, just a coincidence, but still. Um, I don't know. This story is just so much fun. Archie Goodwin is so revered. Um, I honestly like Iron Man has never been one of my major favorite characters. I do remember reading and loving like the David Michelini, Bob Layton, sort of Mark Bright kind of run. Um, and I feel like maybe John Byrne wrote it for a while John Romita Jr. drew it. I mean, I was sort of into him for a while and as a part of the Avengers, but I never like felt the need to like think this stuff would be exciting enough to seek out. You know what I mean? And boy, was I wrong because it is so much fun. This is such a great first issue. The Colin art is just amazing, and I don't know, it's great. I love the red and gold costume. Like, this is classic. Like, see what I mean about it's just so bizarre in a way because, this is supposed to be metal, but it looks so organic the way he draws it and the fluidity to his art, the way his figures just move across the page is like just next to no one in my mind. I love this traditional lettering. It is so much fun. It is so good. What a great page that would be. I would love to see this like artist edition. There's got to be some great Gene Colan artist editions. I think there's like Tomb of Dracula or something. Another facsimile edition I need to get my hands on. Fatum, classic comic book sound effects happening for you. Um, Love the colors here. That's a little psychedelic, perhaps. I sort of can see this in my mind. Was there not a Marvel Blacklight poster based on Gene Colan's Iron Man, I think? And my new favorite, I can't lie. Like, this is so good. Like, I don't know. Like, when like, my new rule is to not hesitate when I see a facsimile edition because I don't know. I have yet to be disappointed. And amen again. Like, this was so good. Like, I was drawn into the cover immediately. Like, what a great just captivating image of Iron Man. Could you imagine like seeing this as a kid or a teenager back in the day when you're like a comic geek and it's fresh on the stand? I would be like, without hesitation. Such a great logo too. Like so much power in that cover. And then it just ends, and then we get. I love this. This is like one of. It's so funny because, post Image Comics, we're used to like the money shots and the every page has to have a dynamic pose or whatever. But back in the day, you get like 9 panels and you get six great shots. You know what I mean? Well, one, two, three, four, five, six panels. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. But this is just so sweeping and amazing, and I love it. And like, it just so cool. Um, the origin of Iron Man retold here. Uh, it is just so good with inking by Johnny Craig and lettering by Artie Simek. I mean, Gene Colan. Do you guys love Gene Colan or what? Such a great comic book storyteller. Such a classic. See, this inking is not doing him any favors, though. This is like almost like Vinnie Coletta bad in a way. I don't know. Like, just not the worst, but just like if you know what Gene Colan does, you just know that it could be better. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Anybody else, like, I don't know how I never made the connection before, and it's probably, I always have these, like, grasp of the obvious, stunning revelations that people probably knew all along. Great shot at Tony Stark there, by the way. But, the Iron Giant, is this not the Iron Giant right here? Like, that had to be, like, so clearly Brad Bird was influenced by was it Brad Bird? Was influenced by Iron Man for the Iron Giant. I mean, duh, it's right there. It's all there. Socket to Shellhead. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Like, oh, to be a fan, part of the fandom in the 60s and 70s must have been such a thrill. Right? So good. Now, I just need these facsimile editions. Are these on sale now, too? Captain Marvel, which is supposed to be not that exciting. But I love that cover. Is that also Gene Colan? Beautiful. And Submariner, amazing. Love that art. We're looking for people who like to draw, says Norman Rockwell. Well, amen to that. I think that's a great, great way to end this one. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. So much fun facsimile editions. Do not hesitate to pick these up when you see them. They're so worth it. Thanks for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I'll bring you more later.